Meanwhile, new polls out today show how the American people view this standoff between Pelosi and Trump. According to a CBS News poll, Americans are evenly split over whether Trump should give the speech as long as we have the shutdown. Look at that, 48-48. Give the speech up there on the Hill at the Congress while we still have the shutdown. Even Steven. But that same poll found that more than twice as many Americans want Trump to give up the wall demand. Just give up the wall. 66% say Trump should accept the budget without the 5.6 for the wall. A new Associated Press poll shows the shutdown has taken a poll in Trump's overall approval. Now, this is lethal to this guy. He has dropped from 42% just last month to 34%. Let me go to Gwen on that. Gwen, it seems to me that Trump loves polls. He loves cable TV. How's he living with the fact he's down below a third now of the people?
I think he must be. This would make him very unhappy. This is a guy who only wants to win. There's no such thing as compromise. There's only winning and losing. And if you're not winning, you're losing in his rule book. He grew up on Norman Vincent Peale on the idea that positive thinking about yourself as successful is what is the way to go. Don't let the idea of failure ever enter your mind. But he weaponized that into you have to win and you have to demolish the opposition. Norman Vincent Peale never said that, but that's Donald's interpretation. And by that way of looking at the world, he's got to win. So his mind he's got to be in really having a headache because he's got to win, and yet the polls are showing people don't want him to do this.
Robert, again, the horse whisperer, the guy I know that really knows Trump and has a very open mind about the guy. I think still after all this reporting, you're still looking at the guy objectively. And my question is, he's never given Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, a nickname. He has attacked, with Pocahontas and Low Energy and Little Marco. He loves to humiliate people. What has stopped him from going after the Speaker of the House in that particularly personal way of a nickname?
He's only gone so far today to refer to the House Speaker, not as Speaker Pelosi, but by her first name. And that's as much as he will say. Hasn't given her a nickname, as you detailed there, Chris. Part of that is he's grappling with the dawn of divided government, understanding that she does have, as the congressman said, the power of a branch of government, the U.S. House, the Congress split now between Democrats and Republicans. She's a powerful force of his generation, someone who comes out of Baltimore, knows how politics is played, is not an easy opponent for the president in a way some of his Republican rivals and Democrats have been in the past.
So where's he going to give this speech? The Dubliner? I mean, he's talking about giving it somewhere on Capitol Hill. There's an Irish bar a couple blocks away. I mean, seriously, is he going to find some like a regular people's hangout, or is he going to go to Iowa or up to Erie, Pennsylvania, or someplace like that, or Bucks County? Where's he going?
Well, I wouldn't mind the Dubliner, to be candid, Chris. It would be fine with me. But I think you talked to Senate. I was at the Senate today, and the Senate Republicans were telling me they'd be open to him speaking in the Senate chamber, but they still are trying to see if there's a way for him. He has House floor privileges as president. Could he somehow enter the House floor and give a speech from a lectern there? And if not there, perhaps in the Capitol Auditorium, that new area they built in the basement.
Wow. Let me go to Mr. Cicilline. Congressman, as pointed out, the Constitution divides government and checks and balances. We have that great tension between the branches of government. Nancy Pelosi has insisted, as Speaker, a constitutional officer in line to be president, that it's her call whether a resolution gets on the floor of the House to allow the president to come. She's chosen not to introduce that resolution. She's not going to introduce, she said it like today. What do you think she thinks she's forcing Trump to do? I mean, she must understand the calculus politically here.
Yeah, of course she does. I do think fundamentally the Speaker believes that it's just not appropriate in this moment with federal employees suffering, worrying about being able to pay their bills, pay their mortgage, pay their rent, being distracted from their work because of this horrific shutdown. I just think she does not believe it's appropriate for the president to give a State of the Union. And I think what she's asserting is that we're not going to behave as if everything's normal and these are normal times. And she's insisting that the president president turn his attention to reopening the government, and then he'll be welcome to make this speech. But of course, the president sees every decision as a personal slight to him. This isn't about him. This is about the American people, about a functioning government, about taking care of workers who are doing their jobs and not getting paid. And I think the speaker fundamentally, and it's supported by the caucus, we don't believe it makes sense or it's appropriate to have a State of the Union while the State of the Union is shut down.
She's got the caucus totally united. I mean, have you heard of any whispers of mutiny or any kind of opposition to her within the caucus, the majority caucus?
The majority caucus, the Democrats, are really unified in our commitment to do everything we can to get the government open. We're going to continue to vote on bills to do that, continue to make the case, because we understand the impact of a shutdown government, and we're very committed to that.
I think the president paid tribute, by the way, to Speaker Pelosi a while back when he said to Paul Ryan, "You don't get it. Watch Pelosi. She knows how to do it." The ongoing stalemate, by the way, reflects Trump's preferred negotiating tactics. The Washington Post reports his preference is always crisis as a leverage. He creates or threatens to create a calamity, and then he insists he will address the problem only if his adversary capitulates to a separate demand. Well, I've heard of dictators like that. Your thoughts, Gwenda, about the tactics of Trump? Because he'll walk away from a deal, but in this case, he can walk away, but he ain't going to end up on Capitol Hill.
He makes everything, he pulls it onto his turf. We saw that during the primaries when he would start right out of the box. He'd insult somebody, kick somebody in the shins, and then everybody would have to respond to that. That's what he wants to do, make everything be on his turf. And Nancy Pelosi's not going for it. She's saying, no, this is not your turf. This is the people's turf. This is the House, and I'm in charge here. She's not going to let him frame it. And I think he doesn't know what to do in that case. He's used to having people give way, get out of the way, and that's not happening.
You know, I think a lot of people would wish this president was as tough on Putin as Nancy, the Speaker of the House, is on Trump. Anyway, the Congressman, thank you very much, U.S. Congressman David Cicilline. Please come back again and again. Robert Costa, as always, sir. Gwenda Blair, thanks for your expertise about the president.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.